Coming up, the Nuggets go 4-0 on the homestand, like we said. Jokic dominates. Plus, we'll tell you why the defense gives so much reason for you to be excited as a Nuggets fan. Coming up on Locked On Nuggets.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Nuggets, your Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making us your first listen, being an everydayer, and hanging out with us Monday through Friday. We do appreciate you hanging out with us, even on the weekends, as we go live here on a Saturday night after the Nuggets get the win versus the Indiana Pacers. To complete the homestand, they wrap this one up by a score of 117-100 as they once again win by double digits at home. On today's show, we'll break down the game. We'll talk about Nikola Jokic just being unbelievable. We'll talk about the defense standing out. We'll talk about Spencer Jones. Talk about how the bench came through in a big way and how that shows the difference in this year's team versus last year's. All that and more on today's show. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. My name's Matt Moore. I've been a senior NBA writer for the Action Network for 7 seasons. I've been a credentialed NBA Nuggets reporter for covering the Denver Nuggets for 14 seasons now. I write at the Denver Dig, Hardwood Paroxysm, and a lot more. Appreciate you guys being with us on a Saturday night. We will have no jinx for you on Sunday night, the official show. This will be a quicker one for a number of reasons. I wasn't in the arena tonight because they had 3 home games this week, and then my daughter had a doubleheader this morning for basketball. 1-1. She played great in the second one. Was very proud of her. And I honestly, I was exhausted. I was exhausted, and it was like I cannot do a back-to-back versus the Pacers. If it was like an elite team, I would have been there. We'll talk about a number of things today. I think the biggest takeaway for me from this Pacers game is more about the homestand itself, which is, they continue to face teams that we can't really evaluate them on. And an unnamed media member has expressed to me, he's like, I got to see him face somebody real. And I get it. But if you've listened to the show for a long time, you'll know from my perspective, you can't really do anything versus good teams in the regular season. And I think, honestly, the schedule the Nuggets have had is kind of evident of that. Hey, they faced the Wolves. No Anthony Edwards. Oh, they got the Heat. Bam Adebayo left early. No Tyler Hero in that one. Oh, facing the Warriors, though, at home after the loss on opening night. Steph Curry's out. Like, this is how it goes. The goal for the regular season is to put yourself in a position where you have figured out how to play together at a high enough level, and that you are able to manage the schedule in such a way as to rack up 50-plus wins to ensure yourself a top 3 seed. That's it. That's it. Two teams outside of the top 3 have won the NBA championship, the 1969 Celtics and the 1995 Rockets. Other than that, it's top 3 seeds all the way down. And so you want to get a top 3 seed. And I started noticing when I was I was at CBS in 2013, 14. And, the Spurs are once again just rattling off these seasons. This is early, 2012, 2013. And I was like, how do the Spurs do this? Like, how are they here every single year? What is it that they do? And so I started looking at their schedule, and I was like, oh, they beat the bad teams. Like, that's what they do. They just never lose the bad teams. Like, that's how you get there, is you establish a floor for yourself where it doesn't. What's great about the Nuggets is I don't think that they've played at all badly this week. You can't say that with how they've dominated and been up double digits. I don't think they've played the best basketball they can. I don't know that this is their fastball. I don't think they're going to show their fastball in the regular season. They have won comfortably against teams they should win comfortably against, like the Indiana Pacers, who did get Andrew Nembhard back tonight, but ultimately, this team just doesn't have enough. Isaiah Jackson starting at center and had nothing for Nikola, which is not surprising. Very few human beings have anything for Nikola, especially not Isaiah Jackson. And that was an obvious miss for them on the rosters. Like, they just don't have centers. They knew that going into this year. But they get Nembhard back. He goes for 22. Nesmith goes for 25. The Nuggets sit Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, and they still take care of this game. And it was within 3 points at one point, and the Nuggets just rattle off another run, and they take care of it. There was a 12-0 run in the second quarter that busted the game open, and that put the Pacers behind the 8 ball. If you go down by double digits versus this Nuggets team in Denver, it is going to be extremely difficult for you to get within, like, to actually overcome them. Because you not only do you have to catch them, but then you have to try and like build a big enough lead to where they won't beat you at the end, which I think they're probably going to get back to being pretty clutch, even though they've had those problems in the last two clutch games that they've played. So all of that. Flo says, I've been covering the team for 14 years. I can't get a Nuggets hat. Sir, I have like 2 hats that I circulate through. One of them is a Colorado hat, but it's beaten to snot. It is really raggedy. I got this new Mizzou one, so I've been wearing it on the show. I really like it. It's comfortable, but I can certainly wear more Colorado hats, but I will also not be wearing stuff that is like of the team unless it's a vintage shirt, because like I'm a reporter and Ryan and Cam are fans, and I encourage them to wear that stuff, not the arena, as credential reporters, but like not appropriate. That's why. So Jokic tonight goes just, normal day at the office, 32 points, 14 rebounds, and 14 assists in 31 minutes and 43 seconds. This is insane. It's absolutely insane. And he didn't even have the best plus minus on the team. Not even close to the best plus minus on the team. That was all the bench. Jamal and AG sit out tonight, which honestly is really encouraging. The fact that the Nuggets took this situation and it's a home game early in the season and they're on a win streak. Those guys probably play if Mo's in charge. Can't break up the skin. Gotta keep winning. Can't take a your last game for the road trip. And instead being like, look, it's a home game, but Aaron's got, some hamstring tightness, which it was listed as injury management, so I would not be worried about it. And Jamal had the calf. And they just gave him the night off in the back-to-back. Perfect. That's perfect. That is ideal. You sit Joker and you probably lose the game. There will be other spots to rest Joker, and I hope they do. But getting both those guys an extra night off before they go on this road trip, I think is excellent. I think it's just phenomenal they were able to do that. Now the question then is, all right, can you get away with it? Can you do that? Can you win too? And they did. Like, sitting guys at home is a big deal because it theoretically impacts your ticket and your gate and all those kind of things. And the fans paid to see Jamal and Aaron. But like the fans also want them to win a championship. That's the goal. And being able to say like, hey, we got to manage the schedule. We're going to give these guys a night off, I think is absolutely terrific. And it gave other guys an opportunity to shine. And for the most part, they did. I thought it was an excellent response, especially from the bench. Joker was 10 of 14 from the field. I went back and watched. Peyton lobs to him. Tries to throw him a lob, which don't throw lobs to Nikola Jokic. But he tried to tip it in, misses it, gets it back, puts it back. So that's one miss that turns immediately into points. He misses the second one. Pascal Siakam gets the rebound, goes the other way. Third one, miss, offensive rebound, put back. Fourth one, miss, offensive rebound, gets fouled by Jay Huff. Borderline call, but he gets fouled by Jay Huff. So 3 of the 4 misses turned directly into points on that possession. He missed 4 times, and 3 of them they scored on anyway. That's why David Allen after the game said he's the most efficient player he's ever seen. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely ridiculous. He did have 8 turnovers in this game, which I actually don't blame him for, considering like how they played. The most impressive thing about this game, outside of the bench being as good as it was the defense. This is one that's kind of tough for me. Like Cam is very excited about the defense. Cam's like texting, like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "Come on, man! Like this Pacers team is a disaster. Like no TJ McConnell, no Tyrese Halliburton. They have no centers, no Benedict Mathurin. Like up and down, they're just missing. No Obi Toppin. Like they have nobody. Like Monte got signed the other day and played 15 minutes in this game. Actually, it wasn't bad in his minutes, by the way. Tony Bradley played 16 minutes tonight and was a minus 27.7 net rating. Like, yes, the Nuggets held the Pacers to a 95 defensive rating. If we're going to look at the schedule and ask the question, how real is it? What I would tell you is I don't know if the defense is real, because the defense right now on dunks and threes is number 6. They have the number 1 offense and the number 6 defense. I don't know if the defense is real. I'll go even further than that. I don't think the defense is real. I think they'll struggle when they go on the road and they face actual teams that have weapons. But the results have been really good at home. And I think that's like, again, compare it to last year, where last year, this same Pacers team, this is a nail biter last year. It's like, it's a 4-point game in the fourth quarter, and they have to rush to get Jokic back in, and he has to play 38 minutes, and he has to put up 45 points in order for them to win this game. But that's not what happened. So that was good. Cam Johnson was good tonight. I know Hurricanes, sad to hear that, but it was a good night for Cam Johnson. Could have been better, but he was good enough. Like, he actually made some shots, which was promising. 5 of 11, didn't hit his threes. 4 assists, though. The assists continue to be really promising. I'm pretty encouraged by that. +1 for him. The starters were not great, in part because Jalen Pickett was -13 in this game. He started for Jamal. I went on Nuggets Reddit. There's kind of like an overreaction post on Jalen. And look, it's tough to go from not playing to starting, and giving him that opportunity was probably good to be like, hey, let's put you out there and let's give you this opportunity to kind of run the team and see what it looks like, or not run, because Jokic runs it, but like to run point guard. Pickett only got 4 shots, 1 of 4 from the field, 2 points, no blocks, no steals, no assists, which is very damning, and 1 rebound. It wasn't his matchup. It just wasn't. And Jalen hasn't played enough for him to really be being in that position, because like the Pacers do have guys like Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith and Pascal Siakam. Like, those are real players. And Jalen had no adjustment there. So I'm not ready to say Jalen is back to. I'm really tired of the roller coaster with Jalen, where it's like he's a bust, and he's not going to be in the NBA. Oh no, he's really good. Hey, maybe he should be the backup point guard. Oh no, he's really bad. We just needed to get more sample on it. We don't know. We still don't know what Jalen is. In part because Jalen hasn't earned it. Jalen hasn't earned that. They would have been better off starting Julian Strawther tonight, point guard. They just would have been. Or Bruce, if you didn't want to mess up the bench rotation. I actually agree with it, because keeping Bruce with that second unit, I think, is really important. Julian Strawther tonight's a +20. He goes 12 points on 5 of 10 shooting, 6 rebounds. Julian keeps rebounding the crap out of the ball. He's getting in there and really coming up with the ball and snagging it and getting it up the floor, which is not something I would expect from him, but pretty impressive. Not as many mistakes for him. I really like the way that he played. Jonas only played 14 minutes here. This was this is a perfect Jonas game. So he's a +4. He's a +13 in 14 minutes, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. They put him in the post versus Tony Bradley, and he scored just about every time. He was 3 of 6, but he, if they needed to, they just could have just kept feeding JV, and he would have just scored every single time. He just kept getting in the post and absolutely just brutalizing them. Bruce only had 6 points, but it was a +23 because he was part of that big run. Tim Hardaway Jr. just continues to have a marvelous season. 5 of 9 from 3, 17 points, +24 on the night. He's been absolutely terrific. And I can't stress, how can I put this? Maybe Tim will just keep this up all year. But if he doesn't, I urge you to remember how good THJ was in November, because I have to do this about every year, where somebody plays really well in November, and then later in the year, everyone's killing him. And I'm like, do you guys remember when he was saving you in November? Veterans have good months and bad months. Tim will have a bad stretch. That's how it goes. But right now, Tim's playing awesome. He's not hesitating. He's firing. He knows how to play. He's moving great. He's healthy. It's been tremendous. It is absolutely phenomenal. Ryan was tweeting stuff about the 3-point stuff. I don't. Look, when the Nuggets offense reaches a level to which I genuinely feel like there is a cap on them, if I feel like they're not explosive enough, like I did the last 2 seasons, if I feel like they are getting killed in that 3-point margin, I'm just going to this again. I think the offense is 100% real, and I think it will continue to be not just elite, but top of historically elite. I think this will be one of the best offenses we'll ever see, and we'll only continue to really get better. And so as much as the 3-point stuff was problematic last year, that was because it didn't feel like it was explosive. This team feels a lot more explosive. And what I mean by that, because that feels like a very nebulous term, and it's used more in football and other types of sports. You want the ability to rattle off runs. Like, you really want to be able to be like, right? Miss, bam, miss, bam, miss, bam. It felt very much last year where it was like Denver was trying to eke out shreds of a point per possession on every 2 plays, like every possession, offense, defense, like every set of plays, offense, defense, trying to just like eke out a little bit of an advantage. And this year, like, they're rattling off runs. Again, they had a 12-0 run tonight. They had other runs that were really explosive. And those things really matter. They don't get bogged down when the other team gets bogged down. They go on scoring runs when the other team gets bogged down. And when the other team goes on a scoring run like the Warriors did on Friday night, they respond in a very big way. Gabriel says we should be 9-0. I will agree with you. You're 7-2. You should be 9-0. Again, you lost in overtime to the Warriors. Jokic hits the floater, which he would hit now. I'll just tell you that now. Like, where he's at right now, he would have made that shot. You win that game. The Blazers game was an officiating farce. I very rarely say that. Like, I very rarely, again, not something I say a lot. And fans of the show have let me know it, and they want me to talk more about how the refs screw Denver. And I understand that perspective. That's your right as a fan. I will continue to be cautious in assigning credit or blame to the officiating, because it's not one possession. It's always like, it's the course of an entire game. And in the Blazers game, the Nuggets could have done a lot of things differently that would have resulted in a win. However, it did take 5 different sequences going against them from an officiating standpoint. This Pacers team is really, I have a lot of, like, one of the reasons I didn't want to go tonight is, like, they make me sad. Like, this team had so much life and was so much fun last year, and they really do play very hard. And Pascal Siakam has like an unending amount of respect for me. He was bad tonight. 14 points on 16 shots for Siakam. But they just don't have the ability, and they know it. Like, they're one of those teams that's like, yeah, we're just in a gap year. Tyrese is out. We'll be back next year, but this isn't it. We are doing it for the money, which is okay because it's a lot of money. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who I like a lot, played 22 minutes in this game. They were not equipped to be able to handle him. Coming up, I want to talk a little bit about one young man that I thought played really great and why I think you need to see a little bit more of him. Coming up on Locked On Nuggets. The NBA season's heating up, and DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, and stuff you'll actually want. It's not just food. You can get everything from snacks and drinks to headphones, ice, even socks, all delivered. DoorDash has you covered for late-night highlights, last-minute watch parties, and double OT fuel ups. Next time someone goes off for 50, use promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the Bag Drop. Dash Pass members only, 50% off, up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. We're also brought to you today by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you could even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Finally, brought to you tonight by Prize Picks. This Prize Picks episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of the sports season, whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both, or NHL. How about those Avs 9-1? There's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. If one of your players leaves early with an injury, the injury reboot saves your lineup from a loss. Download the Prize Pick apps today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for joining us and being part of our day, part of your day, making us part of your day. I'm very tired. Part of your day. Oh, hey. So if you are not, go listen to Locked On Avalanche as the Avs get the win 9-1 tonight. Playing really good hockey. They're so good. My wife's not even mad at them. And she's always mad at them she's like a very harsh fan. She is super critical. Not like Hurricane, but like she's like super critical. And she's even like, yeah, they're really good. And I was like, okay, all right. Also, you can check out Locked On Broncos. Go check out the Locked On Broncos podcast for more on the team leading the AFC West and this team's run to the Super Bowl that they're definitely going on. Okay, so I want to talk about Spencer Jones. Yes, indeed, I do want to. That is correct, Poppin. It is Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones tonight. Look, 6 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 assists, a block, plus 14. The energy that Spencer brings defensively is just absolutely phenomenal. And I really like the way that what he brings to the table. I just think he's a winning player. He's got great size. He really is able to disrupt guys. I think if you put together certain lineups, if you are just like, we got to get a stop. And I don't think they'll ever get to this lineup, but I just think it's interesting to think about. If you put out a lineup that's got AG at the 4 or 5, Spencer at the 4 or the 3, and Christian at the 3 or the 2, especially if you throw Peyton on there, like that is a lockdown lineup. Like I want to see Spencer Jones against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I want to see it just for a few minutes. I just want to see if he can make the kind of impact that I think he can have. I think you can switch easier with him. I think he is a monster. I just think that he is so good at curtailing space and taking away energy and all those things. I just think I love Spencer Jones. I love what he brings to the table. I've been really impressed with Julian Strawther this year. I just think that he's having a really good season. I don't think he had a good training camp. And I thought that, I'm not surprised that he's on the outside of the rotation and kind of having to fit his way in. I'm not surprised at that. But I think Julian's played really great when he gets in these games. And the defense is going to be a concern. So, like, I especially like him at home. We'll see what happens when he's in the game on the road. But I really do like what I've seen from Julian. I think he's had a lot of spark, which is something that they've needed. Not a great game for Christian Brown tonight. Was not good. I didn't feel like he was all that impactful either. Not just because of the plus minus and the scoring. I just didn't feel like it was a quality night from him. But then again, like Christian's been so good and he is on this back-to-back. So I'm going to give him a break here. But Jokic on a back-to-back on a Sega Baba goes 32, 14, 14. Another triple-double. Another 30-point triple-double. And so there's a stat, an advanced metric called box plus minus, and it is divisive for a lot of reasons. One of them, like I don't personally love it because I found out that it made a Westbrook adjustment that resulted in assists benefiting a player on the defensive side if they're a center. So, like, of course, Jokic is going to destroy this metric. However, Giannis is on pace for the highest BPM ever through these first only 9 games of the season at 14. Jokic is ahead of him at 18. I don't even know how to put that in context. Like, I have no idea how to put that in context. I have no idea how to. If somebody was like, "What does this mean?" I'd be like, "He's breaking every advanced metric model that you can possibly put together, except Darko for whatever reason." So, Joker is amazing. He's incredible. Don't take him for granted. Like, we are all extremely lucky to watch this guy play basketball, and we are extremely lucky to watch him play for the Denver Nuggets. Every single one of us. Like, it is. If you want to talk about, like, life gets in the way, and I'm going to miss games because I'm an hour out, and it's a whole other deal for me. But, like, there's that part of me that always, whenever I'm going to miss a game, is like, man, because it's an opportunity to watch Nikola Jokic, and, like, I need to cherish every single one of those. Just getting to watch that man play basketball is an honor. That guy honors the game in such an incredible way. I spent a lot of Saturday morning watching Giannis tape, and Giannis is, I mean, I've been a Giannis guy forever, and he's incredible. And I don't want it to be about the two of them. I hate that Bucks fans have made it about versus each other, and now Jokic fans are doing that. But they are both incredible in very different ways. But the way that Jokic plays, there just simply is nothing ever that has ever been like him, and there may never be. So, it's absolutely incredible. Perez says, and he still won't win MVP. Sad face. Really? You need a fourth one? Like, no one needs Joker to win MVP, guy. No one. The Nuggets don't need him to play 65 games. They don't need him to put in that kind of statistical profile. They don't need him to have to shoot that much. And he doesn't need it for the respect. He was unanimously voted number 1 on the Locked On Podcast Network's Top 100. I asked the people in charge of the voting. I was like, "Hey, can I get a count of what the count was for Jokic?" And they're like, "Oh no, it was unanimous. He was number 1." He's unanimous like everywhere that you should pay attention to. He is respected. He's got the respect that he deserves. So, okay. That's going to do it for Locked On Nuggets. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow. Ryan and I will dive into our Jinx of the Week. We will make predictions on the upcoming road trip. I'll have some more stuff on kind of the details of the defense and what's working and what's not. Go read Bennett Durando's piece on Jared Dudley and kind of how they're re-envisioning what they're doing defensively around Jokic. It was really good. So go read Bennett Durando, my guy over at the Denver Post, on that. Hope you guys have a great night. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night for No Jinx. Thanks for joining us on Locked On Nuggets. What a team. They're a wagon.